Hello, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's well. Al Hilal from the Saudi Pro League, everyone, has offered PSG a world record breaking £259 million for Kylian Mbappé. And all I can say is unbelievable because he's only got a year left on his contract as well, and they're offering PSG that much. So one thing I will say for everyone, PSG is clearly going to accept that. They would be pretty stupid not to. But the question is, will Mbappe want to go to Saudi Arabia? They're off. One thing I will say, I think he is going to go to Saudi Arabia for one because they're offering him from what I've heard, a £600 million contract per year. What is just absolutely ridiculous. So I can't see Mbappe turning that down, everyone. I can see him going to Saudi Arabia. But one thing I will say, I hope not. I hope he will think about his career and want to still play in the Champions League. So I hope he'll think about his career and stay up PSG for another year, then go to a Real Madrid in like a year's time. Because apparently that's where he wants to go, or maybe even a Premiership club would be good for him to go. So hopefully he'll think about his career and do that. But sadly, I just don't see him turning down the amount of money they're offering him, and I can see him going there to Saudi Arabia. But the one thing I will say for everyone, if he goes to Saudi Arabia for £259 million, a world record breaking deal, I can't see him going there for that amount of money then being allowed to go to Real Madrid in a year or two time. Because if they're offering that amount of money, I see it being for at least a 3-4 year deal at least. So hopefully Mbappe will just think about his career and stay in Europe where he will be playing in the Champions League and stuff. But sadly, I just don't see him turning down that amount of money. And I see him going to Saudi Arabia. One thing I will say for everyone is Saudi Arabia keeps offering players stupid amounts of money like they have. Because the amount of players they've took from the Premiership and the European leagues at the moment is just absolutely ridiculous because they're offering them stupid money. If they keep offering these players stupid amounts of money like they have in a few years' time, everyone, with the amount of players they're taking at the moment, I can see the Saudi Arabia League becoming one of the best leagues in the world. Just because of the amount of money they're offering people. I can see that happening. But one thing I will say though, hopefully they won't allow the Saudi Arabia clubs to enter into the Champions League because if they end up in a few years' time allowing the Saudi Arabia clubs to enter into the Champions League because it's becoming one of the best leagues in the world, then I think you'll see an even more amount of players going to the Saudi Arabia League than it would just become the best league in the world. Because of the amount of money they're offering players. Like at the moment, even without Champions League football, they're still bringing in a stupid amount of players from the Premiership and European leagues because of the amount of money they're offering them. Because the amount of money they're offering players is just, money players won't turn down. Anyway, Saudi Arabia. One thing I will say though, I've heard that Harry Maguire is up for sale for £100 million, and so don't miss out because you don't want to miss out on that deal. So I'd consider that. And also Saudi Arabia, I've heard that Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay is up for sale for £175 million. Saudi Arabia, I'd seriously consider Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay for £175 million because you're getting a bargain there. So I'd seriously consider that because you don't want to miss out. Anyway, everyone, thank you very much for watching and see you all again soon.